He played differently than any quarterback I'd ever seen.
Blue, 58, 30%.
Just some of his incredible plays, some of the passes, where, he'd scramble around and looks like he's just kind of throwing the ball up, and, but it's right on target.
Every snap that kid would take, everybody's just on the edge of their chair going, I have no idea what's going to happen next, but it's going to be exciting.
There's always that, always be ready mentality when you're with Favre, because you never know when you're going to get the ball.
Later on in my career, he'd just say my name. He'd say, Chewy, Chewy, Chewy. I go, oh, I got you. And I'd break off my route.
Now he wants to throw back left. Now he wants to throw again in the end zone. That's good. Trevor.
If it worked, great. If it didn't, Mike would always say, stop drawing things up in the dirt.
Would you say this about Brett? He completed passes that nobody could, but he also attempted passes that nobody would.
Yes and yes.
In Milwaukee County Stadium, I called our last timeout, and I think we're about on the 9-yard line, something like that. We have enough time for 2 pass plays. I said, there's 2 things that can't happen. You can't get sacked, and you can't run. He runs in there. He runs in there, runs the play. He doesn't throw the ball. And he starts to run. I go, no, no. And he scored by this much. Didn't you not listen to a single thing I said? He goes, I knew I could score. He goes, I knew I could get in. I go, okay, okay. That was one of those games.
The Monday Night Miracle, 2000 against the Minnesota Vikings. It is overtime.
Another moment where Favre improvises. I think Brett sees an all-out blitz. He changes the play. It appeared Chris Dishman made a pretty decent defensive play.
Freeman trying to adjust to it, and it's incomplete. Nearly intercepted by Chris Dishman.
But he didn't finish the play.
Wait a second.
Wait a minute.
It
Freeman
bounced
picked
into
it up.
Freeman's hands.
It bounced into his hands. He takes it in the end
Touchdown,
zone.
we win.
Touchdown. Packers win.
I felt something tap my left shoulder, and then I see this brown object still on the decline. I was able to stick my hands out in enough time, cuff the ball, make my way into the end zone, and one of the first people there was Brett Favre asking me, what are you doing? Did you catch the ball? Did you catch it? And I said, yes, I caught it. Yes, I caught it.
I don't think I can remember a player that seemed to enjoy playing as much as he did.
His ability to have fun and to be excited just to play the game. It doesn't matter if you're in the 3rd grade or if you're an all-pro for the Green Bay Packers. I think it was the same for him. And I think people that have played the game appreciated that aspect of his game.
I loved to play, I really did. And so I didn't love to play. I wasn't one of those that loved to play when things were good. I loved to play regardless. If we were down by 21, I wanted the ball in my hands with a minute left. What are the chances of you winning it? I knew it was, but I wanted to keep going. I never saw the odds, whether they be in our favor or against. I loved to play.
We didn't care about the percentage, Larry. We wanted the results. And if the results was 6 interceptions against the Rams, we'll live with that. Because we need that player. That's the player we need. We'll go get it back. That's why we're the #1 defense. Use us. Make those throws. We'll go get it back. And we did get it back, and it worked great.
With Brett, that's the way he played. That's the way he practiced. He did everything that way, whether it was golf or it was hunting or whatever it was always to win, and it was always to be the best.
Brett drops back under severe pressure, throws a bomb, and it goes for a 99-yard touchdown reception.
Brett kind of laughed. He said, you're not going to believe this is what Mike just called sluggo. And it's like, we had the saying, we would always say, let's eat. And that meant, let's go make a play, let's go make it happen, let's go get it done. And so Brett and I looked at each other and said, let's eat, and the rest was history.
I talked about Brett leading us, putting the ball where we always wanted it. And I just remember flying, feeling like I had wings, flying over this guy. Coming up with the ball, I had to come down with it, and that's kind of the responsibilities our receivers felt whenever he threw us the ball. We all respected in him, and we loved him for his leadership, and he took us to a lot of places that we may not have ever been able to go to.
My legacy, I hope, is not determined by statistics. There was a little bit of everything. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. But I was not afraid to take that chance. And, you know, had I not taken that chance on a lot of the times of my career, I'd have just been okay.
His thing is going to be the love of the game, the way he played, and the way that he was always there and you could count on him. I think those are probably the two biggest pieces of his legacy.
Availability and accountability. I think if you're trying to teach a young guy how to be successful in the NFL, when you talk about availability, I mean, you just think of number 4.
The moment was never too big for him. If anything, it made him a better player. Some guys kind of cower and don't want to be in that moment. But when you see that your leader is a take charge type of guy, you just pile on and say, hey, we're riding your back, take us there.
He played the game a certain way for sport, for competition, for enjoyment, for his teammates, for the fans. That's how he felt the game should be played. We need more of that.
He did things on the field that nobody has ever done before. Obviously, the 3 straight MVPs is incredible. He won a Super Bowl, but the starting streak is one that I don't think ever be touched again. That Iron Man reputation fits him really well.
Where would this city be without Brett Favre? I look at what the Green Bay Packer history is today, and I wonder where we would be had we not made that trade for number 4.
He was a super talented guy who was a wild stallion. You know, I think on and off the field. It would have been maybe easier just to let him be. He was like the son I never had. And I'm glad he was kind of forgiven me for how hard I was on him at times. But I did it because I love the guy.
We witnessed this wonderful place here, Lambeau Field, where the Packers play. And all the building that's done here and the reconfiguration around the stadium. I mean, that's all Brett Favre. Brett Favre brought a winning tradition back to the Green Bay Packers. In my 38 years, he is the best player I've ever been around. I've been around some pretty good ones, but he is the best I've ever been around. You get one of those in a lifetime, and that was my one.
During Ron's long and illustrious and now Hall of Fame career, he said you were the greatest player he ever saw.
Well, you can give me medals, you can give me trophies, you can plaques, whatever, but I've always just been a player. And there's nothing that means more than to hear things like that, especially from a guy like Ron Wolf, who's seen some great players. As proud as he is of his decision, and I know of me, I'm equally as proud of him and also of the fact that I made him right. You know, that means something to me.
Brett, Hall of Fame, jersey retirements, things like that bring about talk of legacy. What do you care about?
My legacy, I hope, is not determined by statistics. I know this, that all those records will be broken. Maybe some later than others. The consecutive starts, maybe a little bit later.
Maybe never.
Maybe never. So there was a little bit of everything. There was times where my talent really paid off, and like that throw to Kittrick Taylor and some of those throws on that last drive, the throw to Sterling Sharp in the playoffs at Detroit when I was rolling to my left. You know, Ty Detmer would always say, I would never make that throw. I would never have that touchdown because I would never even attempt it. I just know better. And where I would say, what's the big deal? And sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. But I was not afraid to take that chance. And, you know, had I not taken that chance on a lot of the times of my career, I'd have just been mediocre. I wouldn't have been good. I probably wouldn't have been bad. I just would have been okay. And I'd much rather be what I am now than just okay.
Brett, I'm going to bust through something. You don't have to think a lot about any of this, but inquiring minds like my mind want to know. Can you still juggle 3 footballs?
I can. I can.
Does it take much practice?
No, it doesn't. It might just even take me 20 seconds or so to kind of get by.
Is it true you caught an alligator on like a little old fishing pole out in Rotten Bayou behind your mom's and had plans to sell it and so forth?
I don't know if I had plans to sell it. But I think I had plans to like, come look at our alligator. I didn't really think about, it's an alligator. But yeah, that is true.
Your mother was kind of bragging yesterday that you can pick up a softball with your toes. Is that
true? I could, but my feet are terrible feet, and I got a bunion on my big toe that has grown, you know, so big toe. So I can't spread them. It's kind of like that.
Final thing for you. What was it like rooming with a touchy-feely guy like Frankie?
I was so thankful when we went to shotgun that I didn't have to put my hands under his rear anymore. He would get in the bed, buck naked, and I had to watch him like climbing, and I'm like, Frank, really? Do it, I can't sleep in shorts. He was the best.